The number one killer worldwide in economically developed countries is cardiovascular disease. One of the biggest risk factors for heart disease is diet. Eating the wrong foods can clog arteries, increase blood pressure and inflammation, and eventually lead to heart disease. The good news is the reverse is also true. Eating the right foods can actually help unclog arteries, lower inflammation, and improve heart health. The problem is there's a lot of conflicting information when it comes to nutrition. How do you filter all the noise? Don't worry, I've got you covered. In this video, I'm going to show you the worst foods you might be eating right now that's clogging your arteries, which then increases your risk for a heart attack tenfold. Don't worry, I'm also going to give you healthy food alternatives to help unclog your arteries, lose weight, and drastically improve your overall health. And make sure to stick around until the end because some of the foods I'm about to reveal might surprise you. Let's start with fish. Fish is universally synonymous as being beneficial for heart health because it's rich in anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. There are many population studies that show communities that eat a lot of fish have lower rates of heart attacks and strokes than those who don't eat fish. Hong Kong and Japan are perfect examples of this. They're first and second in life expectancy, and they consume the most animal products, including fish, on the planet. Having said that, not all fish are created equal. Fish that are higher up on the food chain, like swordfish for example, often have higher levels of mercury and other potentially toxic heavy metals. According to this research, exposure to toxic metals may increase the risk of high blood pressure, which leads to cardiovascular disease like stroke. Another study found that mercury toxicity is strongly correlated with hypertension, coronary heart disease, and other vascular events. The takeaway here is you want to consume fish that are lower down in the food chain, like the smash category: sardines, mackerels, anchovies, salmon, and herring. Next, we have arguably the single greatest contributor to cardiovascular disease. I'm talking about fried foods cooked in cheap industrial oils. And the poster child of this is deep fried fast food products like fried chicken, chicken nuggets, mozzarella sticks, fish fillet, and french fries. These fried frankenfoods are ultra processed. Those are the ingredients of chicken nuggets, for example. And they're often high in inflammatory fats like polyunsaturated fatty acids or PUFAs, as well as trans fats. Trans fats has been shown to increase the risk of heart disease. And you get a double whammy effect because these frankenfoods are then deep fried in highly inflammatory, cheap industrial oil. Those oils are very unstable, they're full of additives, and oxidize very easily because they're extremely processed at high temperatures. Restaurants then use those same rancid oil and are often not changed for days. I can confirm that to be true because I've bartended at multiple high-end restaurants. Now imagine what fast food restaurants do to cut costs. Industrial oils are very high in omega-6 PUFAs because again, they're ultra-processed, and they've been shown to contribute to detrimental health conditions like diabetes, obesity, inflammation, and heart disease. These unhealthy fats are also integrated into your body as dysfunctional fat cells, and it could take a minimum of 2 years to get rid of them. This becomes your stubborn fat. This meta-analysis by Hart on over 750,000 people found that people who ate the most fried foods each week were 28% more likely to have heart problems compared with people who ate the least. This is why you should never eat deep fried food, especially fast food. And the common theme for this video is the more processing your food goes through, the worse it is for you. As an occasional treat, you can make your own fried chicken or french fries and use lard, tallow, or extra virgin coconut oil for cooking. The next food that clogs arteries are sodas. Soda contributes to weight gain and obesity because it's high in a refined sugar called high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup can lead to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes, which can cause many types of heart-related conditions because it directly contributes to clogged arteries through inflammation. As mentioned by this paper, chronic inflammation is currently considered as one of the key factors in atherosclerosis development. And if you're under the impression that diet soda is better, think again. This Northern Manhattan study shows that diet soda consumption is associated with a 43% increased risk of vascular events like strokes and heart attacks. And this Oxford study shows a significant association between sugar and artificially sweetened soda consumption and obesity. And again, excess weight can lead to fatty material building up in your arteries. Another food group that clogs arteries are refined carbs like bread, pasta, pizza, cereal, pastries, and cakes. This study found that those who ate the most refined carbs were 2 to 3 times more likely to get heart disease than those who ate the least. It's because refined carbs are extremely processed, which produces a rapid spike in blood sugar and insulin levels. Rapid and frequent blood sugar fluctuations can then cause insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes over time. High blood glucose from diabetes can damage blood vessels and the nerves that control your heart. Over time, this damage can lead to heart disease. People with diabetes also tend to develop heart disease at a younger age than people without diabetes. Adults with diabetes are nearly twice as likely to have heart disease or stroke as adults without diabetes. The scary part is more than 1 in 3 adults in the US have pre-diabetes, and 80% of those affected don't even know they have it. Another downside of refined carbs, similar to soda, is that they're not very satiating. It's easy to eat hundreds of calories of chips, pasta, white bread, cookies, or cake without triggering any feeling of satiety. You can just keep eating it. This is why you can easily crush a family-sized bag of Doritos. I mean, Pringles' marketing claim is once you pop, you can't stop, and they're right. The problem is 60% of calories from the standard American diet comes from these ultra-processed, insulinogenic foods. Now, let's shine the light on an especially insidious food that can clog your arteries: breakfast cereal. Through billions of dollars of brilliant marketing, cereal is a staple breakfast food for a lot of people. We give this stuff to kids every day. The scary part is more than 1 in 4 kids in the US are already pre-diabetic. And we've already established that consuming processed sugar is bad for heart health. It might be especially problematic if you consume it first thing in the morning, because you're setting yourself up for that all too familiar massive blood sugar spike, resulting in a subsequent crash to start your day. Next thing you know, you're reaching for cookies, chips, and soda as a mid-morning and mid-afternoon pick-me-up. And then that cycle starts again. What should you eat for breakfast instead? How about some eggs? Next, let's talk about ultra-processed meats like pepperoni, hot dog, canned meat, and most commercial bacon and sausage. It's because they often contain potentially harmful ingredients like preservatives. I'm talking about nitrate, emulsifiers, artificial food dye, and added sugar, all of which can negatively impact heart health. If you're going to consume processed meat, try to find nitrate-free sausage and bacon, for example. As always, quality matters. Also, if you're looking for a healthier snack alternative, you can have 1 or 2 squares of 80% or higher cacao dark chocolate or seasonal berries. Dark chocolate, for example, has more antioxidant activity, polyphenols, and flavonols, which can benefit your heart. Now, let's talk about alcohol. Alcohol is literally poison you're willingly putting in your body. That's why you get the buzz. It's a neurotoxin at any level. Beer is basically liquid bread. And you can bet that when you're deliberately consuming poison, it's going to affect your heart in a negative way. The issue with regular alcohol consumption is it can lead to high blood pressure, increased triglyceride levels, and heart conditions like cardiomyopathy. Excessive alcohol consumption can also lead to alcoholic fatty liver disease and even cirrhosis, all of which affects the heart in a negative way. Now, you might be wondering, what about those studies that show that drinking moderate amounts of alcohol like red wine actually improves heart health? Well, you'd have to consume a stupid amount of red wine to even get some sort of benefit from the resveratrol in it, which still puts alcohol as a massive net negative when it comes to your overall health. The takeaway here is if you're going to consume alcohol and other ultra-processed food, try to save it for special occasions. A handful of times a year, it's not going to kill you. Just don't make it part of your regular diet. As always, real food is the answer. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then you don't want to ignore this one. I'll see you there.